निपुण भारत, निपुण भारत, निपुण भारत.
And if he has lost, how much he has lost? This is the question to you. It is not about profit or loss. It is about whether the person has left some money or has he gained some money. When you check this, what will be the answer to this question? Take some time and solve this question. Hopefully, you have already saw this question. What are your answers for this question? It is being realized that every classroom has a different answer. Someone said 2 rupees profit, someone said 1 rupee, someone said 1 rupee loss, someone answered 3 rupees loss. Some had the answer, it was neither profit nor loss. He did not gain anything nor lost anything. These are the different types of answers. Try solving this question yourself. When everybody is having different answers, what do you realize? Student knows that my teacher has taught me if a certain sum is given to anybody, the answer of everybody should be the same. But what is happening in the classroom about the sum? For this sum, everybody had different answers. Why is this happening? Out of all the answers to this question, some of the answers might be right and some of the answers might be wrong. So out of these answers, which are the right and which are wrong? Then you will say, if we had known it, we would have already told it. Out of all these answers, only one is right, the rest are wrong. Then which answer is right? He is left with 2 rupees. Is that right? Then the question is, if the answer of 2 rupees remaining is right, then why are there all these other answers that have come up? You realize that in PISA examination, it was not about does he have the basic business sense or mathematics skill set. When we learn mathematics, we usually learn it by 3 minus 1 or 2 minus 1. We do the basic calculation. In PISA examination, in this question, it is not asked to decide whether he has business acumen or not. The reason for this question being asked was whether does the child understand critical thinking? Is he able to understand creative thinking? The goal of PISA exam is to understand whether the child has understood this or not. Question: how was this critical thinking analyzed? How was this creative thinking analyzed? To understand that, let us analyze all the answers that we have got about this sum. Then we will understand what the difference is. Person who got the answer as no gain, no loss, what have he understood out of the question? They understood he has bought the cow, then sold a cow, then bought a cow and sold again. Shows that he felt it was neither gain nor loss. And then answer was 0. A person who felt that the answer is a loss, what did he think? He felt that the cow was purchased for 1 rupee, sold for 2 rupees, then repurchased for 3 rupees, and then sold again for 4 rupees. Effect that in this transaction, there was a loss of 1 rupee. Some people said there was a profit of 1 rupee. Default purchase was for 3 rupees and sold it for 4 rupees, so the gain was 1 rupee. But the person who have got the answer as 2 rupees have worked on different levels. What must he have done? I mean, the person who got 2 rupees as the answer, he calculated 1 rupee and rupees 3 as the purchase price for the cow, and he calculated that rupees to rupees 4 were the selling price of the cow. He made 2 categories, one for the purchase and one for sale. On one side the answer was rupees 4 and on the other side the answer was rupees 6. Subtracted from 4 and 6 and he got the answer 2 rupees. So he came to a conclusion that there was a gain of 2 rupees. So the sum was the same, but how did everyone analyzed it? How was everyone done critical thinking for the sum? And after the critical thinking, to solve the problem, which creative thinking was applied? I told you one of the processes of getting the 2 rupee answer, but people came up with different answers. Let me tell you about this story. We had asked this same question in one of our training sessions, and there was a senior officer sitting in the training. Even he could not solve this sum. After you told him the answer, he was satisfied and said, yes, it is right. So when we learn something outside, which is difficult for us, then to show how smart we are, what do? We go home and ask the same question to our wife. Let us check if she knows it. So the officer also went home and asked this question to his wife. As soon as she heard the question, she replied immediately that the farmer is left with 2 rupees. The senior officer was quite surprised. How did she solve this? I was not able to solve, so he asked his wife how she had solved it. The answer that his wife gave him, he told us on the next day. How had she solved it? Taken into consideration that she had 10 rupees, I bought a cow, then I am left with 9 rupees, then I sold the cow, I got 2 rupees, then I am left with 11 rupees, I purchased the cow again, we pay in 3 rupees, so I am left with 8 rupees. I sold the cow again for 4 rupees, so I now have 12 rupees. Initially had 10 rupees, now I have 12 rupees, so I have gained profit of 2 rupees. So it is the same question, but the process of solving it are different. All these different patterns that you use to solve an equation is called creative thinking. So from this problem, they had asserted critical thinking of individuals. And to utilize this creative thinking, people should first use their critical thinking abilities to analyze what the situation is. So the framing of this question was such as to analyze what a person's critical thinking is and what his creative thinking is.